Your clients are going through this as well. There is a renaissance happening where generational influence is shifting the way services are delivered, the way services are received. It's shifting the way workers are wanting to work, their perceptions on what work is. All of that is causing change. And our ability to respond to that change is going to be not only personally, but organizationally. How are we adapting to these things? Major market changes, which Kaiser is going through right now, and being responsive and ready for change. Now, when you look at that change chart that I've created, that change graph, one of the opportunities for all of us is to recognize, remember I said one of our objectives here is to be more aware of how we do change. One of the opportunities is to look at, honestly, self-assessing ourselves, how we behave when we're faced with change. In the moment, big, massive change is going to affect us down the road. My goal in working with the people that I work with is to get people spending time on it's my left, but the discover to future phase of that change chart. So if we look at discover, when we're in discover of change, we're creative and we're energized. So when we're discovering, we're saying, what are the possibilities of this change? What are the opportunities? Those are the questions. The questions are about the future. But just to give you contrast, when we're negative about change or when we're pushing up against change, we are on the other side of that chart, where we are in fear, we're immobilized, we get skeptical and unproductive. That's where we say things like, oh, here we go. How much more work is this going to mean for me? Those would be examples of being on that side of that graph. And then being defensive and anxious as well. By the way, as humans, our primitive brain is wired for fight or flight. So for many people, the change reaction is pushback because it's part of that lower mental field, that primitive brain that says, I'm in danger. But as I said, we are in the decade of transformation, so we want to spend more time and discover. So on the negative side, a negative question might be, what does this change mean for me? Oh, great. Does this mean I'm going to have more work? Now, some of you might say that's a critical thinking question. You can call it that if you want, but it's not going to lead you to any more energy or transformational solution. When we get into discover and we say, what do I need to do to adapt to the reality of what's happening here? Because most people, when they resist change, they want to slow down the reality of what's innately going to happen. Does that make sense to everyone? So one of the reasons I give my cell number out is because I have adapted to the reality that my audiences are multi-generational. And do you know that the number of audiences I've stood in front of and they've said, turn off all your devices? Nobody does. They put it on silent. They're more surreptitious when they're looking at it. So basically, I out the elephant, which is, I know you're on your devices. I know you're probably checking your texts and your emails. I'm cool. Text me while you're at it. That is a discover approach. Because I can keep fighting. Why won't they listen to me? I want their attention. Don't they know who I think I am? Right? But when we get into integrate, we become confident with our change abilities. We get into that place of, I know that I'm capable based on my skills and experience and the fact that I'm here and the fact that Kaiser has hired me and I'm working with this team and I've consistently proven that I'm dependable and reliant when it comes to my job and my function. That's confident that you will find the solutions to move through whatever the change is that's upon you. And by the way, those solutions are no longer made by one individual. They are made by the collective. The solutions are creative. And then we move into future focus, and this is where us eyes like to hang out. That is, the future is good. It means we all get to grow and learn and adapt and transform and create new. And the future is where there's energy.